This is the Astus 14.5. This is a newer boat in the US market, small one-person craft. It is a cool little trimaran, a little micro trimaran, can also be a proa, but we primarily carry it as a tri. This is how it would look coming off of your roof rack or off of the bed rails. You know, it would just come, flip over, go over top of the rails of your truck bed. You can leave the dolly attached so that you can easily move it around. Everything fits inside except for the amas. I guess you could squeeze them in here if you really wanted to, or just assemble it right next to your car, and then, be able to cart it. How I move it around on land, so I just use just a loop, made with a square knot. Pass that loop right through this pad eye here, and then you can take a PVC pipe, you can use anything to just pick it up, and now you can move the boat around nice and easy. With that cart actually strapped. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull it forward a little bit, and we're going to go through lashing the amas. Just move this guy over. Lashing the amas is easy. With the trampolines already being installed and everything, it's nice, because you don't have to deal with all of that. Once that's done, it's done. You'll have to mount with those 4 bolts if you are just unboxing yours. But it's really easy to figure out. So basically this is just going to come up here, and it's going to be, this outside bolt's going to be in line with the cleat. Then we can move up to the front one. Just like that. Cleating is hard. And then you do the same for the other side. All right, so the next thing that we're going to do is the trampoline, you can loosen up a little bit when you are lashing. It makes it a little bit easier to get these in so you're not forcing it. But then you'll need to retension these. So that's just as easy as pulling these and getting them tight. You want to kind of keep it as far outboard as you can, and then you'll take this one strap here and you'll go around so that it snags that bolt head right there. Just right here. And you pull that nice and tight, and that's going to hold your outboard tension. And then you'll do this on all 4 corners. All right, once that's all tight, again, it doesn't have to be like crazy tight. But once that's nice and tight, I'm going to move this back a little bit. And again, you can see, easy to move the boat around with those, with that little dolly in the back. All right. We got our mainsail and boom in this bag here. We have our rudder and our tiller, which we don't need right now. We can do that last. We have our gennaker and furler in this bag here. We have our centerboard, or daggerboard, right here. And then we have our mast with everything attached to it, all ready. I'm just gonna pull this guy out. I'm gonna start this way, just because I find it easier to do it all across the trampoline. Now I have two straps here that are binding this all together, making it nice and easy for us. We're just gonna reattach this to the mast here so that I don't have to think about it. It's just there when I'm ready to put it all away. Same thing with down here. This one I'll just bring down to the bottom as well. All right, so we're gonna take the bottom section. Unfortunately, the bottom section isn't short enough that you can mount it and then install the sails. So we're gonna install the sail, mainsail. And just that bottom section here. So I've rolled it from the top, from the head of the sail down, which gives me a good opportunity. Oh geez, it's crazy in here. All right. I'm just gonna unravel this a little bit. And you'll see these loops right here. We're just gonna start from the bottom of the mast. The bottom section is a clip, similar to the trampoline, so that one you don't have to do right away. And as long as you're feeding it up, it's okay if the sail gets bunched, as long as you're feeding it in the right direction. And the last section right here. And what I like about this is it kind of gives you a sleeve over sail kind of thing going on, but you do get a proper halyard, so you could, take the sail down while you're on the beach without having to worry about the boat, flying away. I have all my rigging here. This boat has 2 float stays in the form of these red lines. This is for the Jenniker option, recommended for this boat for sure. Then I've got our Jenniker halyard. Now what I do is when I put them away, because you've got to tie your knot at the top anyway, I just kind of pull it to the middle here, and then I just tie a square knot, which just makes it a lot easier, in my opinion, because then you're not worried about, oh, is it at the top of the mast? Do I need to bring the mast back down to get it? I'm all about do it as quickly and efficiently as possible so that your time to water is reduced. All right. This just goes right onto the end of that bottom section of mast, just like that. And let me walk around and we'll step it. It's a pretty lightweight mast, even with the sail on it. Doesn't take a lot to get it into place. So it stands up nicely, and it just goes right into this mast step. And once it's up there, it's up there. Now you can sort the mess out from down here. All right, so for the sake of it, I'm gonna use, I know I said the blue one was the Jenniker one. They're the same length, they're the same material. So what I'm gonna do with the one, I'm just gonna feed that guy right into this cleat for now so I don't lose it, even if I have to pull it back out. And then right here at the head, make sure that I'm on the right side of the mast, and I am gonna have to pull that other one back out. But you just tie a nice easy bowline here to the head of the sail. Sorry for the change in voice here, the microphone died, so I'm gonna have to posthumously add in some audio here in this next little bit. And like any great sailor, I have tangled up the rigging a little bit more, so we're just gonna take a couple seconds here and untangle these lines. Maybe a few more seconds. I think we've got it. So now we're gonna hoist the main all the way up, full stop. and we're going to feed that halyard into one of the two cleats at the base of the mast. Cameraman's going to get a little bit closer shot so you can see which cleat I picked. Doesn't really matter, both cleats are the same. So one's for the main and one's for the Jenniker. And you'll see here I am just making a nice coil with the halyard, and I'm just going to use a cow hitch to attach it to the front crossbar. Doesn't have to be super tidy, but the cow hitch is nice, easy to undo, and keeps the line tidy. We're going to move the boom to the other side of the camera person here, and this just pushes onto the mast. It's a real nice gooseneck, and then we're going to use this bottom strap actually is a buckle, so we're going to connect that, and then we're going to unstow our Cunningham. The Cunningham is going to get routed underneath of this front crossbar. And then is going to cleat actually at the foot of the mainsail. There is a small cleat. So you'll route it up through that cleat. Apparently I didn't like how it was routed around that, so we're going to do it again. And pull it nice and tight. So you'll notice here that there is quite a bit of extra red line, and what that is actually used for is just the little painter, so to speak, or the little tag line for your daggerboard. So we're going to put the daggerboard in here inside of that shock cord, which actually keeps up tension so it doesn't kick up while you're sailing. And then we're going to attach this with just, there's a little hole right on the front edge, and we're going to tie a nice loose bowl in. All right, so next we're going to mount the main sheet, which is very easy. In with our Jenniker is our main sheet set up. I'm just going to undo this guy real quick. This mounts real easy. You just got a carabiner that will clip onto each one of these. And then I'm going to run around here. The mast has free flown its way away, but we're going to just pull the boom back up here. We have this Dyneema shackle here. What we're going to do is we're just going to undo this. You could undo the shackle and try and feed it through each time, but I like this little shackle here. Makes it easy to connect. Now, when you're out on just to make it easier for myself, I'm going to sheet this in. But when you're out on the beach, you would want to point the boat into the wind and leave this uncleated. You wouldn't want this flapping in the wind, so to speak. All right, and then the last bit is the Jenniker install here and the side stays. So we're going to pull the Jenniker out. This will attach real easily. Pull out my little handle here. Just like, whoop, wrong way. Just that you want it so that this Fiesta colored line is heading backwards. Then we're going to take, now tying the rigging does make it easier. You can do it after, but tying the standing rigging here that is necessary for it, forgot that bit, so a little bit out of order. But essentially what you're going to do is you're going to come down and around just like this, and then you'll tie a trucker's hitch. So you'll create your bight right here, And you'll come up through. I like a little bit of a modified trucker's hitch, so I'll come through here a second time so that you have an override in here. And what that does is it holds tension. So for right now, I'm just going to pull one in. You probably secure it with a couple of hitches. And then now we're going to do the same thing over here. Come across here. We take our bite. We lay the bite on the lower part of the line and grab that to create our loop. And then we just pack, from my perspective, pass it from the back side forward, and then the back side forward again. And then you have a trucker's hitch that will override, so it will hold tension. You just want to make sure that you've got good tension on it. This just helps the mast. It is an unstayed mast originally, and this is just to help offset the forces of the gennaker. All right, so gennaker, last piece here. This is easy as raising it, but what we're going to do is we're going to get our halyard, untie my little overhand that I use to keep it stowed. Real easy, pass this through this little piece right here, and you guessed it, I'm going to tie a ball in. Just like that. And then I'm going to make sure that this is untangled. We all know halyards, they love to be tangled. Now what you'll need to do is you'll want to clip this goofy looking thing here that you've probably never seen before. This is just going to clip onto one of the side stays, and then up it goes. And then there was that second cleat on the mast, and this is going to cleat in that same cleat. Just like this. Get it nice and tight. And then you will run your sheets. Now I like to run the sheets around the outside, so and I can show you here at the end of the video how I tack and jibe these bigger sails. Maybe it's wrong, maybe it's right, I don't know. But it is what it is. I like to tack with the clue to pass around the outside of the sail versus the inside of the sail. There's not a clearance issue on this boat, it's just something that I've grown to quite like doing. All right, so the last bit here is you're gonna get these shackles. What you wanna do is you wanna get it so that you see these little arrows here with a little, you wanna pass it so that when you pull on it with some resistance, it ratchets. Just like that, and we'll do the same on the other side here. Just like that. So now that those are run, I'm going to undo the furling line. We're going to unfurl this sail. And then I'll leave you in the same position that I'm in, wishing that we were sailing instead of here in the warehouse. So this cleat will pass through here. Now all of this extra line, how I stow it, once, if I'm cleated furled, what I'll do is I'll create a decent sized loop here, and then cow hitch it, and that way it's out of the way. But as far as unfurling it, you need this loose, so I'll bring it back here, and we're going to undo this big sail here. And you can see you've got a nice big sail there. If the heater would kick on, you could kind of see, how that all looks. But yeah, so you've got a gorgeous sail. This boat's got quite a bit of speed to it. but again, limited at about 325 pounds of max capacity. Definitely a sailor's boat. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed it, and we'll catch you next time.